Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Fibre Friends Podcast. I'm Louise from Flower Wool.
Hey, good morning, friends. I'm Cheryl from My Needle Crafts.
All right. So how are you, Cheryl?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm going to see. Oh, no. Okay. I'm going to have to use my phone for comments again this morning. I don't know why.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Anyways, it's Saturday. It's the weekend. It's a long weekend.
It is.
And I'm excited to see your sweater.
Oh, it's coming along.
I heard that. So what are we doing? So this is the last weekend for lace knitting.
Lace knitting. Yeah, tomorrow.
And then socks start.
Yes, socks. Socks are good.
I know.
Oops.
I think since I really didn't do, any lace knitting this month, I'm going to combine lace and socks next month.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That works. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Alice, Marianne, Dawn, Catherine. How's everybody enjoying their long Easter weekend?
But nice here. The weather's like spring-like. It's nice.
Yeah.
Always
We
like it
went
when
out.
Easter is more springy than wintry.
Yeah. And we went off yesterday to a big craft show in London. It was fun.
And you bought yarn.
I did at a craft show. There was somebody who had some yarn, very small amount of yarn, but she did have a little yarn. When I saw that basket with yarn in it on the way across, I was like, what?
I know, because I had stopped and I bought a piece of pottery, and when I caught up with you guys, I'm like, what are you guys all doing? You guys were like all huddled around and like I was like, and then I saw there was a woman spinning, and she was CXN Studios.
Yeah, I have her card somewhere sitting right here.
Yeah, she was lovely. And so she had just started dyeing some yarn, so she had a little bit of yarn. See,
Yeah, she's taking her master's in spinning, fiber related stuff from Fleming. Fleming College in Halliburton is the School of Arts. So
sounds very exciting.
yeah. Oh, she does have a website, cxnstudio.ca, if anybody wants to have a
I
little
took
look
a
see.
I took a little look on her Instagram, and it did show some needle felting and some indigo dyeing, and she was talking about how she'd just started dyeing wool. Yeah, she sounds like she's into a
Yeah.
whole bunch of fun stuff. So do you have the yarn there?
Fiber Arts. Yes, I do. So, she said she's just, kind of at this point learning and playing around and, trying different things. And
Right.
anyways, I picked up, she had 5 skeins of this there. I think Trish took one home.
Yes. Oh, so
I
you
took
ended up
4.
with 4. So,
Yeah.
ooh, that is so pretty. So pretty.
Ta-da.
So
Can
you
you
guys,
just picture it already?
I most certainly can.
So she had said DK, but I think this is more of like a full, I think it's a fingering.
Oh, a fingering weight? Okay.
Like a fairly plump fingering, but I do think it's fingering. But it's going to be a something.
Gonna be a something. So yet to be determined. It was just so gorgeous. You had to have it. And now you get to just be inspired.
Yeah. Oh, Trish says hers is going in a hat. Mine's going to be a top garment, sweater, or something.
That'd
So
be pretty.
yeah, it is really pretty. And it's just got this nice bright green. I think it's a lot brighter than what it's showing up on screen because it's pretty vibrant. especially that green. It's almost like a, I don't even know way. Like it's more like Kool-Aid green. It's bright. I can't even get it to really show, but yeah. So I'm excited about that.
So
So you talk for a minute. I gotta blow my nose.
all right, well, I've got comments up here, so let me just take a look here. What everybody's doing. Yes, Easter. I know it's so exciting. We're doing our Easter dinner tonight. So when we're done here, I've got to, yeah, do a little food prep and then gonna go hang out with all the family. Except Scarlett, my granddaughter's sick. So that's a bummer, but I get to see everybody else and get to visit with everybody else undistracted from a baby. So
Oh, you're sorry. I blew and then I heard Scarlet sick.
Scarlett is sick. Yes, she
Oh
was
no.
throwing up last night. You know, the
Oh,
joys of daycare.
yes,
So
yes, that is
yeah,
true.
we
Well,
won't.
hopefully it's a quick sick, not like if she had a cold or
Well,
COVID or something like that.
I'm hoping so because I'm now planning. I'm just gonna go down and see them on Monday.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she's feeling better on Monday and the rest of them haven't all caught it too.
I know. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But yeah, but I've just been having a great weekend knitting. I mean, we all got together. We had a nice afternoon and a lunch and yesterday, and then I just came home and I knit. So it's been a great start to the weekend.
I know. Yeah, I enjoyed our time out and
It was
doing
so
that,
good.
our nice lunch. And I came home. Oh, I had to make a pit stop and visit with mom and my sister. But I came home and I just kind of chilled and knit on my sweater for a little while. And then I did some cross stitch last night. I even took it off. Look, I ironed it. I'm going to show you. I had to move the Q snap again. I finished another page. I'm so excited.
I like how you tease us and it's like, see it back there, wait for
Yeah,
45
hanging
minutes.
on the ironing board.
Well,
Yeah.
look at what I found, you guys, in the most random spot.
Oh, is that the one that's got the
Yeah,
oh, that's that sweater, right?
right? That one we were trying to decipher last week about, remember I had found the panel and we're like, is this a front? Is this a like a what?
That's a sleeve.
And that's right. And then you were
Yeah,
like, because we had to like think back because it's been almost a year ago since I started this. And we're like, what in the
yeah,
world was I doing? And
yeah.
that's absolutely right.
It's
This
a sleeve
and then you can see where it just started to increase.
for the
For,
underarm.
yeah, for the body. So
Yeah.
anyways, but then once we figured it out last Saturday after like working through all these scenarios, and I'm like, where's the pattern? So I was doing some looking and I found this magazine. It was like just kind of sitting upside down. I'm like, oh, I wonder what this one is. Flipped it over. I'm like, yes, it's my pattern that's gone missing.
Did you find the one with the caplet in it with the little poncho?
Well, I just opened. I'm like, what is this?
Is that it? There it is. Yep.
Look at that. And I
It was
still
really cute because it's got like sort of those little raglan shapings,
that you
but
like. Yeah.
yeah,
And I mean, and you could make it longer. Well, no, maybe you couldn't because there's no armholes.
I really need that
Maybe
pattern.
so maybe you don't want to below your I know there's something every time you see the picture, right? It is
I
just
may
so simple.
I might actually have it. I think somebody screenshot and send it to me. Trish did, or you did, or somebody
Exactly.
did. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't, it'd be way back. That's like a year ago.
I look at I like the neckline. Like it's just
Yeah.
ribbing, like a
What
loose
is
ribbon.
it knit in? Like what's the gauge? Like what weight of yarn?
Let me see if I can find out. So okay, here we go. Here we go. Material.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a Rowan yarn, Rowan Lima. It's knit on a 5.5 millimeter
Oh,
needle.
so it must be like a DK or a worsted.
Must be. I think we then didn't we go search this yarn and
I'm
it wasn't lighter weight yarn because we all bought that Millie yarn. for it, which
Did, which
was lightweight.
it's a DK, I think. So Rowan Lima is actually a chunky and it's merino wool and alpaca.
Well, then what were we thinking buying a lightweight yarn? Or we just thought we could magically make it work?
Well, the the Millie that I bought is either a DK or a worsted.
Okay,
I
maybe
think
I'm
it's a
thinking of
worsted.
something else.
I knit my love note with it.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't, well, I don't know. I guess pictures can be deceiving, but it doesn't look chunky though, does it?
It does not. It looks nice and warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. Looks anyway, so okay, oh, maybe I could have just read the next paragraph. It says, tension, yarn used knits as chunky to 20 stitches in four
So
inches.
they're using chunky yarn, but they're knitting it on a tight gauge.
Yep, to get a worsted gauge.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to buy worsted weight yarn.
Oh, there, Nita says that Ravelry has the Lima listed as a worsted weight. So,
Okay.
so maybe they say it's chunky, but it actually knits as a worsted.
So the yarn is a worsted, but then because you're using a 5.5 needle, which is kind of more like a chunky needle, you're getting a looser gauge to get a gauge for, but then the gauge is 20 stitches. I think this is all so familiar. I think we sat around that table at the retreat house going by around this, like, how can it be chunky but a worsted tension? Anyways,
Yeah.
as you get the neckline, long as you cast on a good number of stitches, you get the neckline to fit how you want. Then you just do your increases like a raglan sweater till you're almost at your elbow. And then they've done a little bit of garter stitch. Yeah, they've done garter stitch. I don't think you can see that, but it's just a little bit of garter stitch on the bottom. And you're done. Then you can wear it. Now I know why I liked it so much last time.
I know it is nice. I'm not a huge poncho fan, but actually that comes down to, is she wearing it right down to her elbows pretty
That's about her,
close?
yeah, her elbows.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't mind that, I guess. Like to me, it needs to like keep your whole torso warm. So I would want it to come down to, waist length, which I guess is about your elbows.
But I mean,
Pull the
close,
picture up again. Yeah.
close.
Yeah. Like natural waistline. Well, I have a lot of birdie friends out here this morning.
I can
I
just hear everybody thinking, for goodness sakes, ladies, just knit these flipping things.
I know, right? So I got comments. Hold on. So Diane said that your whiteboard is blinding her. I'm gonna guess because there's nothing on it.
Because it's still white. Well, you know what, Dan? Okay, okay. I was this close, this close. Last night, I was talking to a friend on the phone. So after Cheryl and Trish and Alyssa and I got home for our lovely afternoon out yesterday, I was sitting and I was knitting, having a lovely, relaxing night. It was just something about knowing, I don't know, that like the stores, everything was quiet, everything the day, was a holiday. Everything just seemed so quiet and relaxed. I was sitting knitting, talking to a friend, and I said, you know what, my favorite night? I've got the perfect night planned. It was a Friday night. I thought, oh, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to find a movie on Netflix. I'm going to go bring my whiteboard downstairs. As I'm watching the movie, I'm going to update my Ravelry pages and I'm going to write it on my whiteboard. And I'm thinking, like if my niece or nephew heard me say that, they would be like, oh my goodness. As my nephew was leaving at 8 o'clock last night to go to a concert, and here I am, I'm thinking, I'm going to write on my whiteboard. And so I really almost did it last night, but then I don't know, something happened and I didn't. But I'm like, I'm, it's almost gonna happen.
So Diane said that you could put slits in the side for your arms. She had a friend that did that with a poncho she made.
You totally
I
could. You could
yeah,
steek it.
I would totally do that if um like if it was longer, I would definitely put little slits in it for my arms.
I did that once. Oh my gosh,
I love ponchos.
I wonder if I still have this. So I knit a capelet poncho thing once, and I think it had slits in the arm, but it was a bad yarn choice.
Oh.
It was one of those ones where it must have been, oh, anyway, I think I doubled the yarn. It must have been like a super bulky yarn, and I doubled the yarn and then ended up having to knit it really tight to get the gauge. And the thing could practically stand up on its own, and it must have weighed 20 pounds.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah. So, needless to say, I never wore it. I think I wore it once or twice, maybe, and
Probably
never,
be warm.
it would have been warm. Um, it was warm, but it was heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam made it this morning. I think that's the first time I've seen you in a couple of weeks. Hi, Sam.
Oh, what else is, yeah. So anyways, okay. So back to lace knitting. Is anybody working on lace projects? Anybody finishing up? I saw some socks. Who was doing, was that Liz? I don't know. Liz is always working on socks, but they were green. They were like a green hand-dyed. I don't know. Did you see those? And they had a really cute little lace pattern on down the leg.
No, because I haven't been on Facebook very much lately.
Anyways, there was some lace projects on the Facebook group. Did anybody out that's on, did you guys finish something or are you close to finishing?
I just have to go now and look.
I know, because I like them. So what I'm gonna do lace socks. Okay, you're right. I still have the book here. Remember the ones I showed you last week?
Oh, Liz is doing some.
Liz,
The
yeah.
green color with the eyelet lace pattern
Mhm.
on the leg.
Yeah. Don't they look
Yeah,
cute?
they're pretty.
Hey, look at these, you guys. I'm a little bit obsessed. I keep thinking about these all week since I showed you this picture last week. All lace.
Why are you obsessed with them?
I don't know. I just think they would be fun to make. Like, look, this one up here almost looks like hearts. I don't know if you can see. I don't know. I think they would be fun. And plus, I can just picture wearing Birkenstock sandals with a whole lace sock. Wouldn't that just look fun for summer, spring, summer? I don't know. I'm thinking, I don't know really how well they would stay up, like if you did them tall, especially these ones, because there's no ribbing. There's just a lacy little edge on them. So I don't know, right? Like how well that would actually stay up. But if you actually put some ribbing on it and then did a lace leg and top of the foot,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to speak for everybody else, but I can definitely tell you it would not be something I would ever knit, so I don't doesn't really matter.
that does not surprise me. But I don't know. I think I want to make something like that just because.
Well, you go for it because you like trying new things and challenging
Yeah.
yourself. See, I look at them and think, I don't know anybody who would ever put those on their baby. So I have nobody to knit them for and no reason to knit them. So I don't have any want or need for the final product.
But see, I'm going to make them for me and I'm going to wear them.
You're going to make them for yourself, not baby socks. They're
Uh-huh.
baby socks.
I know. Yeah,
Okay, you go for it.
I'm going to. And then you can either, at the end of next month, you can either say, Louise, that was a brilliant idea. I think I'm going to cast on a pair. Or you're going to be like, no, yeah, I was right.
I would never say the first thing in entirety because the last part of I think I'll cast on a pair, I can confidently say will not happen.
Okay.
But good for you if you knit them.
I think it would be fun. I don't know. I just, you guys know, I don't know. I don't know. I get things stuck in my head and they may be a good idea. They may not be, but
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do it. So it would be fun.
So it looks like Dawn has finished her lace crochet shawl. It's off the blocking mat today. That's awesome. Jude has made chickens and she said chicken maths apparently still applies. She planned one, ended up with 6.
Oh,
Not motivated for the long rows.
mm. I saw Amber on here.
She is. She said she's feeling out of the loop because she's been busy going to belly dancing on Saturday mornings. We kind of wondered where you were.
That's so fun, belly dancing. And
Yeah,
how's your new kitty? I love seeing all the pictures. I
yeah.
forget what this one's name is.
I don't know, but she's been putting little hats on it, and it's kind of
I
funny.
know. That kitty is well loved.
So Marg finished her wisp shawl. Well, we're 27 minutes in. You want to see my sweater?
Yeah.
So for anybody who doesn't know, I'm knitting the Ranunculus because, I'm late to the show, but hey, whatever.
But what would you say to other people that haven't knit it? It's probably in their queue, they have the pattern saved and haven't done it. What would you
Well,
would
it's funny because we were talking about this yesterday and forget which one of us talking at lunch said about somebody who wouldn't knit it because of
yeah,
the the, the main picture.
that was my friend who
Right. And it never did anything for me. I see people, with their finishes and everything, and they look really nice. But every time I look at the pattern, I'm like, I didn't love it. But then if you look through some of the projects or, some of the pictures where it's knit in a heavier yarn, because if you don't know and you've never knit it, the ranunculus is knit at 1 gauge. So no matter what yarn you're using, you get the 1 gauge. So if you're using a fine yarn, you have a big open lacy tight fabric. And if you knit it on a heavier yarn, then you have a nice tighter knit fabric. And if any of you have kind of figured it out, I like a nice tight fabric. I don't like gauge where you like see through it. Like if I'm gonna wear a sweater, I want it to, be warm. I don't know. I don't want something that I have to wear something else under because it's so thin you can see through it. Let's put it
yeah,
that way.
okay.
So after going through and looking at a whole bunch of other projects that, other people's project pages with this sweater and seeing what they've done, I decided I was going to knit this on the Holst Super Soft, which is a light fingering. It's kind of blowing out. It is like, it's still blowing out back here. It's like a rusty red. I forget the name of the yarn because the cone's in the other room. Or sorry, the color of the yarn. So I'm holding it double. So I found somebody else's project page and they used Holst and held it double. And I kind of went by what they were doing. I didn't want the loose gauge, so I knit a swatch to a gauge that I liked the fabric. And then I did all the math to figure out what I should be doing and what size I should be knitting. Now, because everybody starts with the same gauge, the same count, cast on number of stitches, I had to, do a little finagling.
Mhm.
So I kind of followed along what the girl had done who knit with this yarn because she clearly likes the same things I like. So I started on with the number of stitches for the collar that you would have after the first increase round and then skip that increase round
Okay.
later after the ribbing. So, and then worked my whole pattern. I split for the sleeves at a size 3, I think, but then I knit, um, sorry, I put in my raglan markers according to the numbers for each section according to the size 3, and then I knit it as if I was doing like an 8, size 8 or something. And I did all the increase rounds. At the last 4 rounds, it tells you to do increase round every 4 rounds without a plain knit row in between. But I did the plain knit row in between all of them so I could get more depth because my gauge is smaller than the called for. So there's all my pretty lace work. Well, it's actually more textured here. Some little lace around here. I did try it on. I absolutely love it. The body is done. I did almost 4 inches of twisted rib at the bottom. Definitely time consuming. Doing twisted rib.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I got the first sleeve on, and there are no decreases at all on this sleeve. So
Okay. Yeah.
I just knit until about 3 inches or so from the end and do my ribbing.
That's
And
awesome.
I tried it on. It's going to fit very nicely. It's not super big oversized, and it's not. I would say I probably have about 4 or 5 inches of positive ease. So it's just going to be a nice fitting sweater.
That'd be
So
perfect.
thanks everybody. I love it. I really, really love it. And I can't wait till it's done. I think I'm going to wear it quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you will. The color
Yeah.
is beautiful. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. Yes. I wonder how many other people have just scrolled by thinking that pattern and thinking, oh, I wouldn't like it. Um, yeah, interesting. Interesting how the finished pictures can influence you, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think I'd really like to knit it like in a worsted weight as well.
Jillian from Little Red Mitten just finished one like
Yeah.
last month in a worsted, and
Yeah.
she was really, really happy with it.
Like this is not, even though it's held double, it's like a DK weight. It's not going to be super heavy. It'll be nice and warm, but it won't be super heavy. But I'm
Right.
thinking a worsted or even an Aran might be really nice if you want something nice and cozy and warm.
Oh, I think so. You would
Thanks,
knit it
everybody.
again?
Pardon?
You would knit it again in the
Oh
heavy?
yeah.
Yeah.
The pattern at the top is fun. Like it's really fun. It doesn't take a whole lot of thinking. There's not like every round you have to do is, it's like you just read it, it's like, oh, that's easy. And you do that around. And some of the stitches are really fun. And yeah,
That's good.
yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's been a lot of fun to knit. Oh, yes. So Louise was just mentioning, yeah. Um, if you watch the latest episode of Grocery Girls, Tracy knit the ranunculus and she did baubles. It is so pretty. She did. So where these 4 um eyelets are here, she did a
Yeah.
bauble in place of those eyelets.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's really nice. Yeah, really nice. So Amber's cat's name is Zelda.
That's right. I knew it was a video game related name.
Yeah. She definitely was not impressed with those hats. It's a funny thing about cats, eh? When they're not impressed with you, you can tell. right away. When you look
Yeah,
at them, they just have that look.
not happy. Uh, okay, I want to see what does Diane say? You can just you
Oh, she's talking about using double-sided body tape to keep the socks up.
yes.
Your
So
lacy socks.
yeah, okay,
You just had to comment on those, didn't you, Diane?
I could. Well, and I wonder
Make
because
her
her next
talk about them
comment,
more.
see, somebody's excited about my lace socks. I know, and I agree. The lace, the ribbing would not really fit the style of the sock. But I was thinking that if I wore it with jeans, you wouldn't see the ribbing, but it would hold them up. But
Yeah,
double
she
sided,
says, yeah, she said not putting the ribbing on
yeah,
because it would change the way they look. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah. Double-sided tape. Okay.
And Mary said that you and her are alike because, it adds spice to life.
Exactly.
Yes, Louise is adventuresome just for the sake of being adventuresome. I am just not that person. Not that I'm not adventuresome, but there has to be a little purpose behind my adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't need any purpose. If sounds fun.
Yeah, just
Uh,
doing it for the sake of doing it.
that's right. Oh, Amber's working on socks. Oh, Mazelda, yeah. You have to get that kitty trained. Don't play with the yarn. Oh,
Yeah.
look at all the hearts for your sweater.
I know, you guys are so nice.
Uh, oh,
That's fun.
oh, that's what Louise. So Louise was talking about the grocery girl where she said somebody
Yes.
here to put baubles instead.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're a little behind.
Yes, I am just catching up.
Dawn says that she thinks the lace socks sound fun too.
See, you want to tell. I wonder if there's a pattern already on Ravelry like that, or we'll just have to make up our own. We, as in, I'm thinking somebody else is going to jump in and do this with me.
So is there not patterns in that book for those super lacy socks?
I don't think so. I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
just part of the beginning introduction of the book talking about Shetland lace.
Oh,
I
well, you
don't
should,
think the pattern's in there.
well, then you should do a search for Shetland lace socks or baby socks and see
Yeah.
what you can find.
So, so lacy socks. And then down here on the bottom, they call them children's ankle socks and simple lace pattern.
Well, of course, it looks like they're knit in like the lightest lacy weight yarn you can
I
find.
think so.
See, I just go and stick my toes right through it,
So
trying to get them on.
I like all the history about this. And so it says they were found in 1979 during a visit to a spot in Shetland, in a wooden box at the shop in another city in somewhere. The knitting is thought to be 100 years old. That's just so fun. You guys, I could totally go down a different rabbit hole thinking about I I found a YouTube video last night
Thank you, Amber.
and it's talking about because I was trying to I was curious about the speed of knitting, and this video was talking about she had found an old black and white video, this woman, um and she was talking about Shetland knitters. She was talking about the speed of knitting and the history of knitting, and apparently knitting in the old way. I don't know exactly what that way is, but talking about the fact that there was some discrepancy. People had said that knitters could knit fast, like 200 stitches per minute, and people were questioning that. and she said she found these videos where women were knitting, and they were knitting so fast that you could not see basically the needles moving, but they were also talking at the same time. So the video wasn't sped up because they were talking at normal speed. So which means that they were truly were knitting. She said something like 2 to 3 stitches per second. That I can't even wrap my head around.
I don't even think my fingers will move that fast.
I don't even think so either. But
Yeah.
anyways,
So Jude says, I have done a lace with cables and beads socks. Stunning socks. Got to do what seems fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
Do
And then Amber said, why, Louise? Why? See,
okay.
that's
Why?
okay. Whatever.
Exactly. Jude said exactly. You do what is fun for you, right?
I say why too, but if you have a why in your head as to why you want to knit them, then you should just knit them.
Somebody might want to do all like baubles, socks, like just bauble after bauble after bauble.
Wouldn't that feel funky? Your pants are all
Right?
stuck on them.
I know. I think maybe we should do something like the funkiest sock pattern.
Yeah, do a contest.
Yeah, kind of at the end of the month, we see what everybody's finishes are.
Yeah,
Do a special show. I mean, they're all beautiful no matter what,
yeah.
but
So Mary says she's hooked on crochet lately, along the hexagon cardigan and a poncho. Yeah.
oh,
So, totally I'd be all over it. If crochet didn't bother my wrist so bad,
that's too bad.
now I would be all over it because like even 15 years ago, I used to crochet a lot. I used to love it. 20 years ago, I used to do tons of crochet, but
That's too.
not anymore. So Dawn said she found one on Ravelry. It's called Shetland Lace Rib Socks. So you have to go look that up, Louise.
One. Thank you. Dawn, are you going to cast on? Okay. I'm going to go look those up. I may just look
So
that up.
Amber, she's done Sock Madness. She just cheering.
I'm just cheering now. Yep.
Yeah.
But yes, I'll show my socks on Monday night. My Sock Madness socks. And yeah, I've already got a game planned for next year. Yeah.
Oh, so Jude wants to know, was she talking about the knitting style where there was one long and one short needle? Are you talking about the
Oh
podcast?
no. Like where like the video that I was talking like the old
Uh-huh.
way? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a long needle where like they would put it under their arm and then I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen to it because I was listening to it, in bed last night. So I think I probably ended up falling asleep partway through it. So I'll have to go back and listen to it while I'm fully awake and see. But yeah, what the part that I heard, she didn't actually explain what the old way was, but I don't
Mhm.
think I've ever heard of people doing a short and a long, but that would make sense because I always wondered when people talk about, I don't know, like the family members, like I was gonna say like their grandmas, but like knitting with the long straight needles.
Mhm.
I have a friend in our guild who is Dutch, and I think that's what she said. Like her mother and grandma would always knit with one long one under their arm. But then if you've got knitting with another one that's long, then it's like really like in the way.
Yeah.
But if it was shorter, no, but then you're switching them
But
around.
then you're switching every time. I was already thinking about that.
Yeah.
When you
So
do a row, it's on the wrong needle.
that wouldn't, I don't know. I know. I love the history part, like any of these, and how different countries have different
Well, yeah, because there's
traditions.
different ways, like the Portuguese knitting. So you're not actually tensioning the yarn with your hand, which leaves your hands freer to move
Hmm.
instead of worrying about, constantly retensioning the yarn in your hand.
Yeah.
And, like continental knitting is typically faster than English knitting because there's less hand movement.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there's different ways. Oh, Trish says, yeah, it used to be a knitting belt. Her mom had a friend that knit that way with a
Right.
knitting belt.
Right. Hmm. I know
Oh,
this just
looks like Amber's been super busy. One of my work students did 2 baby hats and finished it and gave it to his French teacher that was expecting. Aw.
oh my God, Amber, that's so fun. Oh my gosh. Just think of all the people that your knitting skills have touched, right? You know, like the kids that you are teaching a new skill, and then you're getting the joy of teaching, they're getting the joy of learning, and then passing that on to their teacher who gets a special gift that one of their students handmade for them. That
Mhm.
is so fun. Oh, Louise. Okay, so Hohe knits with long straight needles most good.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Interesting.
knew that.
And yeah, and that just fascinates me how different countries do things differently. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know anybody who has a knitting belt. I had the yarn harlot come out to our guild many, many, many years ago, and she taught the class speed and efficiency. And she talked about lever knitting, and that used a longer needle, straight needle. And yeah, it's just so fun that there's so many different ways. You just have to stop and take the time to practice it.
Mhm.
But yeah, lots of possibilities out there. Knitting
Yeah.
styles, knitting projects, all lace socks, all the fun things.
So I have some more stuff yet to show, Louise.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, did I see more yarn sitting there?
Yeah, well, because you couldn't join us last week, but a few of us went to Hamilton last Sunday for the at the Fibre Forge.
Yes.
So I did a little shopping there. Um, I'll show you some. I didn't buy a whole lot, but I did get a few things that I thought
This,
were kind of cool.
this was
So,
your
of
first,
course,
this was your first time going to the show, wasn't
I
it?
had never been to the show before. I tell you, the building is absolutely amazing. I love the whole feeling and ambiance of, the old factory, all the old wood floors and yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, I got some just because I had to get some little mushroom stitch or needle stoppers.
Yeah, yeah.
I already have like 4 pair, 3 pair, but I thought they were so cute.
You need seasonal ones. You need to
And
set.
I have a snowman, I have llamas, and I have, oh, strawberries. So I needed some mushrooms. They matched my sweater. So I
Absolutely.
put them on right away. But now I'm doing sleeves. I don't need them. Anyways, and I got that from Pine and Pearl. And then Tully's, she had hand-dyed yarn and a few other things. She had some little kits done up for making, the little posable frog and some bunny and whatever you have. You didn't get the pattern with it, but she had done up some little kits for making those. On her table, she had these little wooden, her, sorry, holding
Yeah.
your darning needles. So it came with 3 darning needles. And, I was like, when I saw those, it was the very first booth when we saw going in the door. And my poor darning needles. So I have a old antique round table beside my chair, and it has a little wee drawer in the side.
Mhm.
And in there are all my little like stitch markers and my needle stoppers and just a small ruler and just a bunch of other junk. I shouldn't, not junk, but
Junk
all the loose,
accessories.
it's like a notions pouch drawer because it's little and you like it's,
Yeah.
this deep and it's this wide and it just slides out of the side of the table. Anyway, all my stuff's thrown in there, and I had my darning needles in a little wee Ziploc bag, and it had poked holes, and every time you pick it up, they'd fall out
Yeah.
if you didn't leave a little bit of yarn on the needle. So I was like, oh, I need one of those things to put all my needles in. So, and it holds like I have like great big long one in here. Look at this one. Anyway, it came with 3 different sizes, and yeah, I found this one. I don't know if it's in my stuff for my grandma, but it's got 2 holes. There, you can see it now.
Oh, wow.
It's got a big long like slot hole and then a little hole on the very end. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, so I promptly come home and put all my needles in my little wooden
Nice. I
needle
like
holder. So I love it.
that.
I absolutely love it. And I was not going to buy yarn because seriously, people, like bought, what have I got lately? I ordered 2 sweater quantities of yarn from Wool and Silk a couple weeks ago because her shop is closing. So I ordered some from there. And what else and I had bought my cone of yarn to do this sweater
As you went to Little Red Mitten.
at Little Red Mitten. I just bought yarn yesterday. Anyways,
You are on a roll. I like it.
I can't resist a good deal. Like seriously, people. Oh, yarn down, yarn down. I just
Let it
thrown it
be,
over.
we should say, let it be known that I did not buy any yarn yesterday.
Well, there was only one vendor and there was only like 3 skeins of yarn left by the time me and Trish took, you know. Anyways, she was selling this for $15 a skein. Like, how could I not bring them home? Like,
Exactly.
seriously, I can't resist a good deal. So, anyway, the yarn therapist had a booth.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So this is superwash DK, 100% merino superwash DK 3-ply, 4-ounce skeins, 284 yards a skein. So I'm assuming these are discontinued colors because she had them in a bin marked down to $20 a skein. So this is like a corally red.
Ready?
And these are her old black. I thought they were more of like a tonal sort of, they have like some taupey undertones in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. So she said this was her old black color that she no longer has. They changed the dye. So her new black is more of a cooler tone than this warmer tone. So these were in the gotta go. I wish there had been 3 of these. And if I'd have been smart, I would have checked to see if they had 2 of these, and then I would have had 4, and I could do, some color work or something sweater. So anyway, I have 3 skeins. We'll see. I'm thinking garment. Everything I buy right now is garment, 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 because
Nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
really
that.
wear shawls or anything. And I have lots of sock yarn, so
Sweaters. Perfect.
I
That's
don't know if I could get a sweater out of 3 skeins, but
but you could you might have something else in your stash that you could put with
I
it.
might. Yep.
Or pick something else up on our travels that might go with it.
Yeah. So more yarn for my stash, so I better get knitting and clear some out. Because
Good.
by August, I'm vending an errand, and don't know if I can bend and not buy yarn again, but I'm going to try and be. Oh no, we're going shopping in May when we go on our retreat. So
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
may just behave myself. We'll see.
Possibly.
So anyway,
Fine.
yeah, the last thing I have to show is my stitching.
Let's see it. I'm just working away on my seat stitch scarf because it's a good project. Well, I mean, not that you can't mess up seed stitch, but I haven't. So take that as a win.
So I think I'm officially past the halfway point. Just get my loose threads out of here.
Oh, exciting.
Then it had another page finished, so.
That is so gorgeous. Like, oh my
So
gosh.
this is the center. Little doggy's butt right here is the center. So you remember last week I was working on this page right here.
Yep. So you got it all finished right over. You got
in the way.
squirrels. Oh, I love the acorns up the side, up above the S.
Mm-hmm. So the L in squirrels, this is going to be a big tree. So hopefully we'll have that done next week. So yeah, this is my next page right here. It's coming along. It's coming along.
It's looking amazing.
I don't remember what I had done last week, to be honest with you. Don't
But
even
you
remember.
weren't all the way over to the corner. And squirrels wasn't finished, the whole world.
No,
I
I might
remember
have had the two. Was I done as far as the 2 R's? I don't think so, because I thought I had done it quite a bit this week.
Yeah, you might not have had the R's. You might have been the dog with this bird on his tail was finished because I remember seeing that, but you might not have had the R's done above.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
lovely. Mary Ann is giving you claps and she says, I am in awe of that Cheryl. I know.
I love this piece. It's so stunning. So now done across the whole bottom. So I would say, considering this is the center, I'm just past half done.
Oh,
Yay!
that is so wonderful.
I'm
Hi,
so excited.
hi, Cindy. Mark says, wow, Cheryl, you have done so much on this project. I know.
No, right?
That's so fun. So fun.
I'm hoping that I have it done by the end of April. We'll see. I should be
I think
close by the time I go to Stitch North.
I think you are on track. Easy to do
Yeah.
that. Easy.
Hi, Cindy. That's okay.
She is very talented. All the
Oh,
things
thanks,
that she
Mary.
created,
Really, it's just little X's. That's all. Just little X's.
but you're doing it so beautifully. And your back is always as perfect as the front,
Well, it's not too bad. It's a very thin fabric, so there's the back. You
right? So you
really want to make sure you don't have any traveling or any funky things, because once you put it on a weight board to mount it, you would see everything through the fabric.
are
So
so you're showing the back, right?
that's the back.
Okay, that's the back. Yeah. Like really beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, the colors are just I love how, because it's just one strand over 2 threads on 32 count or 36 count for any of you that are cross stitchers. So you get this really fine, like it's not a heavy coverage.
Hmm.
And it just has this very vintagey kind of feel to it. I just love it. But the
But
colors are so pretty when you look up close.
so nice.
I love it.
Oh, see, do what is fun for you, right?
Yeah. Cheryl, have you ever heard of floss having a grain? I was watching a tips and tricks video the other day, and this lady said that floss has a grain. Never heard of this. I don't know. Possibly. Um, I've heard, and like really, it's only, I think, for somebody who is looking for complete perfection would only worry about this sort of thing. But I think it's the base of always, when you pull your threads, that you're always working from the same end. So I'm probably not explaining it very well, but if you pull your thread out, you always want to be using, sewing from the same end. So the spin of your thread is always, you're always sewing like the same direction. I don't know if that makes sense.
I've
I
heard.
don't worry about it that much. My hex stitch looks like spider webs on the back. Well, I try not to do any traveling, Mary, and I always complete an X. Like each stitch is a complete stitch before I move on. I don't do like what they call that. There's a name for it. So if you do one leg across a row and then come back and do the top leg afterwards, there's a name, they call it something, but I don't know. I always complete each complete X at a time. That changes how things look too. And I never travel more than like one space across to another stitch. If it's more than two spaces across, then I'll end and start new. Unless it's going to be buried by a different color.
I just looked up the socks.
Oh, did you look them up?
They're
And
like, yeah,
did they look anything like it?
not quite as lacy as this, and they're done with sock yarn, obviously, but yeah, pretty close. They're
And what
lacy.
were they called again?
What did I look? Shetland lace rib sock. I would Okay, and now what I could tell you for sure is I would not wear them in high heels like she is.
Oh, goodness.
Birkenstocks, most definitely. Because that's what Birkenstocks were made for, was to show off your socks.
Yeah, so they have a ribbing on the top as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can share my screen, Louise.
We were playing with that last time. Yes, look at this.
Oh, it
We're
said host disable participant screen
Oh,
sharing again.
hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure out
We
how
tried this last week.
how did I disable that?
I don't know. It was disabled last time and you enabled it. So
I switched something. Um Give me a sec. Oh, share screen. There, you should be able to do it now.
then I can show you what they look like.
Yeah. Just for some inspiration. There they are. Oh my gosh, this share your screen thing is like magic.
Yeah.
So they're fun. Yeah, see, that would not be what I would be wearing them with, but yeah, those look fun, don't they?
They do not look fun to me,
What? Real? Are you serious?
but they're very pretty. No, I would not enjoy doing it
Oh,
just because it's too much stuff to pay attention to.
mhm.
Unless like it looks like maybe they might be, like a 6-row repeat or something.
It might be one of those ones that's easier or it's more intuitive, like once you start knitting it.
That's what I
Yeah.
wonder because it doesn't look like the repeats are very long.
No, it doesn't. It might
Like
you
maybe 6 rows.
yeah. I know it
So
looks fun, doesn't it? It looks fun. Thanks for looking
yeah,
those up.
sure.
Oh, that's I know something to think about. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go to Easter tonight thinking
Hmm.
about lace socks and all the possibilities. Oh, so much fun. Oh, Wanda, what's Wanda saying? As an old quilter, your thread. Oh,
Yeah,
you thread your needle at the same end that you pull from. The twist in the thread can cause knots as you sew. Okay, so that's
yeah, it causes knots when you sew in with um cross stitch cotton.
mhm.
It's just because of the way you go down and you pull up again, it twists, and I'm always having to just untwist my threads anyway at, after I do like a bit, the yarn starts to curl up on itself and you have to untwist it.
Right.
But yeah, it's the same pretense that when you pull out a strand, you always thread it at the same end. My problem is I have mine on a loop and I pull my thread from the middle. So it's never the same end, but I don't care that much.
But you
So
haven't had a problem with it.
I'm sure if you do it that way, your X's would your threads would lay a little smoother. The thread that I'm using right now has um a tighter twist than like DMC does. DMC is not twist. There's no twist in your threads. Like on the ply, when you pull out one strand, the strand is not twisted, but I'm using Valdani threads and they have a very light twist to the 6 strands. So when you pull it out, the thread has a little bit of a curl. You can see the curl.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And the threads don't lay as nice and smooth and straight on your stitch as they would with something else. But yeah, Amber says they look pretty and maybe worth a try at some point. It is a pretty pattern for sure. Oh, Dawn says 8-row repeat on the socks.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just guessing.
Yep, well, you were pretty
I was close, 6 or 8.
educated guess. Very well done.
Well done.
Okay, you guys. So socks is next week. So this is the perfect
Yeah,
weekend to
starting on Monday, sock month.
finish up your lace projects. Start thinking about sock yarn.
I have mine all ready to go.
You do for your sock?
It's been in a bag ready to go for about 2 weeks.
Which one? So you're just going to do your vanilla latte?
I think I'm going to do a vanilla latte. Yeah, with the sock yarn that you gifted me for Christmas.
Right.
So I can have those ready when we go to our retreat weekend because I'm the only one that hasn't started my socks yet.
But lots of time. Those are going to be the first ones. I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
they're done.
lots of time. You better have yours done by the end of May.
I'm gonna work on mine. I pulled mine out and I had them. Actually, I did a couple rounds on them one day last week, I think.
There you go. Since it was all your idea,
I know I have to
you
have
thought she got us all the same yarn in different colorways, and her hope was that we would knit them so we could all wear them together when we go on our retreat.
I know it's not that fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, so I better make sure I get mine done. I'm going to. There's like not a possibility that they won't get done. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, good stuff. Well, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy your Easter.
Eat lots of goodies and have lots of food and
Mm,
relax, enjoy some time with all your loved ones. And
yes. Most important part of the holiday. Get to see your family or Zoom call them, whatever it is. Whatever. And yeah, sneak some knitting, crafting time in there too. Make it the perfect weekend. I have a cat who's going to jump on my lap. This is going to hurt. All right, Daisy. All right. Well, anything else to share, Cheryl?
no.
Well, we're okay. Well, you have fun. Just admire all your pretty yarn.
All my goodies. Yeah.
I'm going to, I'm going to start playing around with these lace socks. So
sounds like a plan.
That's my plan. All right, everybody. Well, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next Saturday.
Yipper.
Happy knitting, everybody.
Bye, guys. Happy Easter.
Oop, hold on. Oh, there we go. Every once in a while, I can't find the